Find yourself getting passed by multiple cars, as I mentioned earlier on, so you're off in a very precarious situation, but he often finds himself in these places. He doesn't qualify as well as he races.
Up front they are getting with Lee Aberdeen and Luca Varani not very far apart at all here, but I just want to see how Alistair Haig deals with Marcello Kessler coming around the old hairpin.
I would say it's not the best decision they've ever made, just not having done that under the safety car, really.
Yeah, they're taking their pit stop strategies from Ferrari lately or something. What's going on?
In turn one, just too much gas on them, too much feet on the down pedal, and unfortunately he's dropped him all the way down the order, but Philip Hammer is out in front by an 8.91 seconds. Dan Michael is a wall there, sir. And definitely doesn't want to be hitting that earlier on as well.
Difficult, the understeer is in the dirty air through that final corner because it's such a long corner and you get dragged off into the grass very easily. He'll have the slipstream down in towards the chicane. Peterson was briefly alongside, but that slipstream has saved him and kept him in third.
Yeah, Varani now lost a little bit of time to Aberdeen, about half a second. Peterson is Pike's pushed Morton forward up ahead. He's got out of line. It's now Pike going to have a go at Werrell. Don't push him off. He's in the championship fight. Jack Werrell chasing down Carl Jacklin. Further down, Rob Williams and Chris Barnes.
Sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such trouble. He's left on second and change. All of a sudden Miller's back in play.
Moving on to the back end of Phil Jocelyn. So there's been a lot of movers and shakers in this first 2 laps here for race.
Absolutely serious racing league. Everybody's a lot have fun. Yeah,
It's all about the entertainment, so I hope
everybody is enjoying themselves out there in the chat. We know that Ron is been enjoying himself watching. And Burger King machine's off into the grass a little bit there. Is that really bunching up now?
Does he have it?
Medeiros is going to get it.
Oh, look at the toss. They haven't got it.
He's on the outside line though, going into the fastest corner on the circuit. Surely this can't work.
Dominic Ligner has got a sensational run outside line now though for the heavy braking zone. Around the outside goes the Audi R8.
Look how much Miller's caught back into play. Exactly. Miller's still such up. He's not on second and change. All of a sudden, Miller's back in play.
Can Barry do it? Big Barry's going to do it. Big Barry. Good evening, ladies and gentlemen. We return for the JPB TCR Cup, the American Tour Championship. I am James Parfitt, and I'm alongside Zach Sweeney here this evening for round one at the Sonoma Cup historic circuit. 33 drivers signed up. We've got 28 on track this evening, as some are away and couldn't make the first round. Let's bring in Zach to start off here as well. Welcome in everybody as well. Phil across the pond, Ria, Richard Simnar there as well. Cracking racing, gone to get milk. Much appreciated for that one. Can I get 4 pint of green, please? That would be amazing. As well, that would be awesome. Simnar's got his cup of tea ready for the chaos, but let's bring in old Zach Sweeney into the booth. Zach, how are you?
It doesn't get any less disgusting. Like, you know, the more you say something, the more you should get used to it. I just don't. It's only cool when Stu says it because Stu's just amazing. But anyway, yeah, welcome in everyone. Looking forward to a new season of TCR. Of course, a little bit different. You know, we're moving away from the BTCC style of things. We're overseas. We've gone on holiday, James.
We have, yes. We have ventured across the pond. Now, we are going to call it the American, but it is actually Americas. And I'll show you why on that one when I bring you up the schedule. Now, as you can see here as well, we go to Sonoma Cup circuit here first. Then we're off to Laguna Seca full. Now, this is the reason I've called it Americas. It's because we've got Mosport, which is in Canada. So, yeah, we do that on round 3. Cota West on round 4. Barber full on round 5. Then we go to Watkins Glen Cup circuit on the 6th. Round 6, Virginia North on round 7, Line Rock West Bend on round 8, Road Atlanta full on round 9, and then we finish off. Now, this is going to be the interesting one, the Daytona Nascar Road Circuit. Now, if you haven't seen that, it's with both chicanes, so the back chicane and the chicane on right by the finishing line, actually, as well. You can see the formats there. Qualifying has changed. We've gone to 15 minutes open qualifying. Race 1 will be 20 minutes, and then race 2 will be 30. They have all been provided for fixed setups with the right amount of fuel here, Zach, as well. So, interesting calendar there, bud. You know, what do we think? What are you looking forward to the most? Because it's not your conventional calendar.
It's not. It's, well, very American. Also, Mosport has the USA flag next to it, which is just a very, very, very small grievance of mine. Apart from that, I'm looking forward to it because there are a lot of gems in the North American side of things, especially Mosport. Obviously, you've got the obvious ones, you know, Daytona and whatever. But, you know, we've got the likes of, you know, Skip Barber, we've got Virginia Lime Rock. Those are sort of the little small tucked away ones. To be fair, in essence, sort of Sonoma as well. It's not a track that I'd commentated on until last year. It's not a track that I have commentated since last year. It's just one of those little tucked away, again, as I say, just little gems that you find in the most random of places. Most of these are out somewhere in the middle of the desert, right? Yep. Cota was built literally in the middle of a Texan desert, I think, in, what was it, 2012, 2013. Sonoma is the same. Laguna Seca is the same. They're all just these amazing circuits that, again, have now got a really good chance of being showcased to the world. And then obviously we've got the big ones, the Watkins, Glen, the Red Lancer, the Daytona, which should be an absolutely amazing championship finale. Of course, TCRs around Daytona. If anyone hasn't seen a race with TCRs at Daytona, you should. There are a lot of fun to commentate on. Yeah, I'm looking forward to it because, again, it's not just a 6 round season, I should say. We've extended it now to 10, which means, you know, more racing and, well, more fun, hopefully.
Exactly. Welcome in, Jamie Dangle. He said, hi all, and Sween Dog. I've got a funny feeling this name might stick. Yeah, I think it might stick. Now you can see on the left-hand side, last season the pros were green and the AMs were red. We've come away from that to match up with the American theme. So we got the pros as the blue, the AMs as the reds. Okay, so they've got A and P on their cars. You can see that there with Jess Rakowski currently at the moment as well. So that's all a little bit different. That's just got Michael Lease behind her. So obviously Michael in the pros. Score system, Dak, they get more points for race 2. Longer race, I felt they deserved it.
Yeah, it would make sense because if you put it into points per minute, then you'd obviously be earning, if they were the same, you'd be earning more points per minute in race 1, which doesn't really make sense because you're doing more effort in race 2, you're going longer, so therefore you sort of deserve more points for it. So yeah, it makes sense, and it does mean that if you do sort of mess up race 1, you've still got race 2 to go for, right? You've still got something to fight. Your evening isn't over purely because you messed up race 1. You've still got plenty of points still on offer because that's a lot of things when you go for the big race first, right? The big point scoring race. People mess that up and they think, oh, it's only half points for the next race. What's really the point? Unless they're in a championship battle or anything like that, they don't really think about it. But now you get more points for race 2. You've got more things to fight for and just that more motivation as well. Longer racing as well should keep us nicely entertained in the commentary booth as well because, you know, these guys, they go at it. Sometimes over the course of last season, you were thinking, we want an extra 5 minutes of this. And now we get an extra 10, so no complaints.
Yeah, exactly. Absolutely, exactly. We are going to go into qualifying, the open qualifying session for all of these people as well. So it's open. So we've gone to an open qualifying. So you've got a choice. You either look for the gap or you get out first and try and do your lap straight away. That's going to be an interesting one as well, Zach. You know, they're normally used to closed quali. We're normally used to, you know, them out on the track one by one, but we've got them all out together. Now, they have been instructed as well, if you are on a slow lap and somebody is approaching behind, so they will look to move out the way. All right, we've got the returning champion Dan Mould. He's rocking the number 1 on his car this season. Dan was last season's pro champion. Jay Corley was last season's AM champion. Of course, for Jay now, what that meant was he got promoted to the pros. So Jay Corley will be the pro, the AM champion promoted to the pros. Sorry, I knew where I was going with that one. So it's going to be interesting for Jay as well. What's he going to be able to do this season? Can he keep it up? I've watched him do some practice before. You know, we've talked about the flash points on the circuit. Turn 2 on lap 1 is going to be horrendous. That horrible curb at turn 5, and I can't express how bad that curb is at turn 5 as well. That can bounce you up in the air. Turn 6 and 7 again, always tough, and this run into this hairpin as we'll go on board with Dan Mould is also going to be tough. So although the circuit looks simple, Zach, it's really not.
By no means is it easy. It's not a track I've driven around personally, but I've seen enough to know how difficult it is. Again, as I say, we're in the middle of a desert, right? It's you get what you're given. You can look at it, right? So many times have I seen cars, you know, run too wide into turn 1, get it wrong into turn 2, and boom, there's a big incident. You know, you've got the track, you've got gravel, and that's pretty much it. You've just got, you know, little bits of tumbleweed tumbling down on the side of the track. If you make a mistake, you're going to know about it. Thankfully, obviously, iRacing makes the off-road bearable. Obviously, don't touch it, but it will still very much chew up and spit you out if you get things wrong. So you need to make sure that you are being careful, especially obviously in front-wheel drive touring cars, because they're I wouldn't say very prone, they're more prone to understeer. You're more likely to overwork the front tyres. You're more likely, therefore, to understeer and find yourself off the road. Then obviously that big braking zone at the hairpin of turn 11, the way it widens up going around the outside, you're enticed, right? It's basically a big welcome sign to say send a move down the inside, right? And sometimes things go a little bit wrong, and then obviously it heads into this quick left-hander to the line, which people are going to want to get desperate moves down the inside for, side by side through the hairpin or whatever it is, and then boom, they see an opportunity to turn 12 and they want to go for it. So there are plenty of action zones, plenty of opportunities for there to be a little bit of carnage along the way as well, and plenty of opportunities for people to make mistakes. So I'm sure today is probably going to be a race of attrition more than anything.
Yep.
I'm sure we're still going to see great racing, but consistency is the name of the game.
Absolutely. You can see Tom Weston sitting on pole. Tom's new to touring cars, never driven them at all. Had a chat with Tom this week about the series. He did say that he's actually, to be honest, he said, I'm actually loving driving something different. Now, Tom primarily is a GT4 kind of guy, and now he's coming to these front-wheel drive TCRs, and he said he's actually really enjoying driving the cars. Now, they are great cars. We did mention in the briefing as well this wriggly run through turn 6 and 7. Now, the problem with this isn't the fact that it's wiggly, Zach. It's the fact that if you're offline early, you're going to be offline for the rest of it. And I think that's the problem with that section between 7 and 10. You've got to be on the line, haven't you? Because if you're slightly offline just a little bit, that turn 10 becomes a horrible one to try and control. So I think there is challenges all across these circuits for these guys, and I think some of them are going to be, well, I think impressed, I think, as well. Partly because obviously when we put the calendar out, they were all a bit like, and some were like, yes, we're going on tour, we're packing up, we're flying, we're going to the Americas, we're going to do something completely different, standard away from the normal TCR leagues within iRacing, the ones that go to the Hungaro ring, the Nürburgring, and Alton Park brands at Silverstone. We brought them out of their comfort zone, and that is why a lot of people have loved this already. There's only 7 spaces remaining, guys, as well, so you can get yourselves involved if you want to. There is 33 sign-ups gone straight away, and I've got to be honest, 25 of them, I think it was, went within the first 48 hours. So you've got to be quick if you want to get involved. I know Stuart Gibbons is looking to sign up for next week as well. So it'll put us down to about 6 spaces left. So if you want to get involved, please do so. There's some nice little times going on at the moment. SRL Emerald, represented by John Brown here, and Dan Mould. Now, Dan Mould this season teamed up with Adam Delmont, and they're in the SRL Next Gen team. Now, they're obviously in the gold livery. Dan's rocking #1, of course, past season's champion here. But him and Adam Delmont together, that is going to be a feisty team to try and beat.
Oh, yeah, they're going to set the benchmark, for sure. Adam Delmont is a phenomenal driver. Those that obviously recognise him from the JPB Clio Cup, he's very nifty when it comes to front-wheel drive cars. He knows what he's doing, right? He knows how to control them. He knows how to race, more importantly. Not only is he quick, he knows how to race these cars. He knows the dynamic. He knows what he has to do. He knows how to be consistent. Pair alongside Dan Mould, who is a multiple-time champion in these cars, you've got a very high standard to beat, right? They are going to be levels. I'm sure that they're going to have other drivers that will contest them. I'm not saying they're going to run away with things by any stretch of the imagination, but they are going to set the standard. They are going to be the ones people aspire to get to that level. I'm sure maybe we will be surprised, but on paper you've got a reigning champion and you've got a huge up-and-comer of Adam Delmont. Like, yeah, bring it on. This is going to be a scary season. But also on the flip side of that, a lot of pressure on their shoulders, because now we're expecting them to perform. They almost can't win, because if they do win, it's almost like, oh, well done, you did what we expected you to do. And if they don't, it's almost like, wow, come on, guys, what's going on here? So they really do have to succeed in order to meet the standard.
Absolutely. Ria, on that note, I do love the fact you said I'd love to get involved, but y'all don't have an American time league. Well, what we could do, to be honest, is if you really wanted to reach out to me and we could have a chat about the fact that we could do TCR UK at normal UK time, and then we could go and do TCR America. So it's an option, Ria, if you wanted to reach out and have a chat with me, and then maybe we can come together and bang our heads and get it all set up and try and get it running, maybe do a 6 calendar season starting in a couple of weeks or whatever. Reach out, we'll have a chat, see if we can tie up, bring you in, get you as an admin, and we can work on it and get it all sorted out. So that would be quite an interesting one as well. Maybe they can follow the UK schedule from about round 4, and then we can carry on from there. So yeah, something for the future, Rhea, I think, for everybody in the US. It has been mentioned to me, Zach. That's the problem as well, that, you know, we've got a lot of American followers, obviously from the BSC, Triple Bypass, you know, obviously Rhea in YouTube chat, and a few others as well that I'm friends with over multiple Discords. You know, they have all said, you know, when are you going to rock an American league? So maybe we could pick it up from round 6 or round 4 and do a 6-race American calendar for TCRs.
Yeah, of course, I won't be in the commentary booth. I'll be sound asleep, but I'm sure it'd be a great fit for these guys. Again, there's a huge...
Hold on. Do you work tomorrow?
Do I work tomorrow?
Yeah.
No.
So
No, I
technically
don't.
you could.
Well, no, because I'm absolutely shattered from a busy day, and also my girlfriend's got to work at like 6:30, so I've got to be able to take her in. So there's that. So unfortunately, I wouldn't be able to.
What, Uber don't work in Great Yarmouth?
What do you mean? No, because you spend 40 quid. I'm not someone. No, it's stupid.
Or £3 on a bus?
I'm an apprentice. Yeah, but no. Well, you can just get in the car and go. Anyway,
Pay for
that's
driving
not the point.
lessons. Pay for driving lessons.
Anyway,
some
that's not the
people,
point.
I'll tell you, you're not
That's
loving,
not the
are you,
point.
much? You know what I mean? She would love it if you bought her driving lessons for her birthday. So, you know, come on, stump it up. You earn enough.
Okay, right,
I'm just saying.
yeah, it's great when I don't pay tax. I mean, what?
Ooh, steady. Back it up. Don't release too many details. So there you go. Right, Ria, I will message you for sure since the other thing fell through. Yes, it did. Give me a shout. Maybe we could do an American TCR, follow the same schedule as the UK from, I don't know, round 4 or something. Gives us a couple of weeks to get it all sorted out. Maybe we can set that up and see what we can do. 5.5 minutes in qualifying at the moment. Now, let's have a chat. Dan Mould, Ross Fowler, Fraser Parfitt, Mike Pollard, John O'Cook, Reese Watt are at the top. There is a name sitting in 27th place. Now, this man has picked the Honda, right? And he has come out and said, I need to reconsider my life choices. The Honda is horrible. Now, whether or not CRG is going to look at changing for the next round. Now, we have given him an option and said, look, mate, unfortunately, due to my racing system setup, you can't jump out, change your car and come back in. It doesn't let you. So he's going to have to suck it up for this race. But maybe next race, we might see CRG back in that Elantra that we are so used to him seeing in. He's gone for the Honda, doesn't like it. Literally flat out hates the car itself. So unfortunately for CRG, maybe he should have done a little bit of testing before he decided to pick the Honda. But he's not loving it. So maybe next week we might see him back in the Elantra.
Bad tradesman always blames his tools. I'm just saying.
Well, that's the thing. I think that's the
He's as
thing.
good as we say he is.
Yeah, well, Jay Corley managed it, and he's in a Honda, and he took the AM Championship. But Jay is a Honda man. There's quite a few
We've got Pollard,
Hondas.
Cook, Flackner, Woodcock. Hang on, that's 4. Manners, that's 5. Corley, 6. Rakowski is 7. Cannery Gutton, that's 8. That's a decent. That's like just under a third of the grid are in a Honda.
Yeah.
You can manage it.
Just to let you know as well, that's actually Patrick Falconer. Clearly my fat fingers got in the way when I typed his name out. So it is Falconer,
Brilliant.
not Flackner.
Cheers.
As much as I'm sure
just offended him.
Yeah, he's all right. Don't you worry. You know what I mean? Paddy's fine. No, it's fine. Don't you worry. He'll understand that my fat fingers got in the way. So yeah, that's what I mean. There's quite a lot of Hondas on the grid, and for a driver that is CRG standards, right, is nearly 7k for a reason. You would have thought he'd be able to jump into it and just basically deal with it, but unfortunately he doesn't love it. Doesn't like it. He's not even put an half decent competitive lap in. He's literally just looks like he's running around. Well,
he's not running. He's
kind of
walking.
Yeah, he's on the Sunday drive. You know what I mean?
He's got a caravan on the back.
Yeah, he's up to something as Sergeant, but he's not doing what he should be. Dan Ross Fowler, Fraser Parfitt. Now Tom Weston new to TCR, is loving it at the moment, putting himself in 8th. That's not bad at all, considering he's got Michael Lee, Steve Fry, John Brown in the SRL, Emerald behind him. Now we've got some new guys as well. Victor Brown, as we said, Paddy Faulkner, JB Deju's here as well. Carl Jacklett is returning, Leo Bryan, Chris Barnes, Tom Anderson. There's a lot of new people in here as well this evening. So this whole sort of makeup should be a good one, I think, and it should be really good for everyone.
Yeah, good mix of newcomers and veterans. Of course, the newcomers, we obviously welcome in. It's nice to know that you wanted to come in, get involved. Maybe you watched the streams, you thought you'd get involved. Maybe you got a recommendation from a friend that said, what's the best TCR league out there? And they said, oh yeah, the JPB TCR. Or they said, oh no, I'm not available for that one. And then like, the TCR is that one. No. We are the best. Of course we're the best. It's JPB. It's JPB. We're awesome. But anyway, yeah. For whatever reason they wanted to get involved, welcome in. I would like to see them sort of mix it up. Again, they're new faces to us. We're new faces to them. So it's going to take a little bit of a bedding in situation. Maybe they do know some of these guys, because sim racing's a whole cobweb of intertwinedness, and people know you from here or here or here. But a lot of these guys, it's their first time racing, so they're going to have to get bedded in. They're going to have to get acclimatized. They're going to have to learn what the racing dynamic is like. They're going to have to learn where they can improve, where they stack up against all of these guys. And also, obviously, for the veterans, they've now got new people to get themselves acclimatized to as well. They've got themselves to worry about, and then they've got these hot shots that, could cause them a little bit of a headache throughout the season. So plenty of interesting dynamics to sort of indulge into over the course of the season. And also a very, very close fight for pole at the front.
Definitely there as well. Richard Simnar would love to join, but I'm doing a TCR league already. Next season I'll be here, promise. Well, Rich, to be fair, as you're sitting in YouTube chat on a Friday night, you clearly haven't got anything to do. So, you could take this week as a job. We could join in and do a couple and then realise which one you like the most. Just saying, just putting it out there. Waiting for the World Tour season. Well, there is talk of next season already, to be honest. So I'm not going to lie, we've only just started this season and I've already started drawing up a map of where I'm taking us next on our excursions around the world. So stay tuned for that one, because obviously, I do love a little bit of an excursion, and that's what we are doing. There's also plans for the new Clio Cup as well. That track format is being discussed, and also tracks itself are being mentioned already. So we've got a lot in the planning here, Zach, ready to go already for the next season.
And I know nothing, so don't worry. I won't. Well, don't come to me asking for any insider info. Nothing. I'm not important enough. I don't have access to that. That's above my pay grade. So it
is, unfortunately, and
I get told them to show up.
Exactly. Right, let's have a look at the grid for race 1. Dan Mould is in first place. Russell Fowler second. John O'Cook in third. Fraser Elphick fourth. Mikey Pollard in fifth. Victor Brown putting it in sixth there. Ian Manners seventh. Reese Watt eighth. Tom Weston ninth. Michael Lees 10th. Tom Woodcott 11th. And Stephen Fry is in 12th. John Brown down in 13th. Paddy Faulkner 14th. Alan McCain 15th. JB Deju 16th. Kev Eilert 17th. Jay Corley 18th place. Carl Jacklett 19th. Scott Malcolm 20th. Jess Rakowski 21st. Deck Crowder 22nd. Dan Lewis 23rd. And Chris Barnes in 24th. Then we go to Leo Bryan, Tom Anderson, Callum Reed-Garton down in 27th place there, with James Ellis in 28th. Zach, but CRG, he's clearly made a statement of intent that he does not like that car, right? You can clearly see that's how it's gone for CRG. He's not loving it.
He's not. And maybe he needs to go to Mackey's. Then he can sort of get some of that loving it spirit back. That was horrible. I'm sorry. I apologize. I'll see myself out. Anyway, CRG, yeah, he needs to sort of pick it up. He needs to pick up the pieces. He needs to find his swing. He needs to get back into the rhythm with it. Whether that is changing car, but then again, sort of do testing. Obviously, I know you can't really do a lot of testing before you buy a car in iRacing, because it's like, nah, mate, 15 quid or take it or leave it. So, you are kind of limited if you want to try new things. But, kind of regarded. So it's unfortunate. But anyway, let's see how he does.
Right, lights are on. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5. Ladies and gentlemen, the JPB TCR Cup American Tour Championship round 1 is underway. And it's Dan Mould currently out in front with Russ Fowler giving him a load of trouble. They did get warned about turn 2 in the driver briefing. Are they all going to make it through cleanly? No, they're not. Fowler's going to go round. There's a big old clash at the back as well. And unfortunately for the Performance Link Esports boys, there's a couple of them involved in that one. And unfortunately, they did not all make it through. I warned them about turn 2 in the driver briefing, Zach. Clearly, some didn't quite get the memo.
Yeah, they managed to join, then they ran off and got a cup of tea and missed the most important thing. Or that's when they conveniently decided to press deafen. Again, you know, you can warn them as many times as you want. If a racing driver sees the gap, no matter how small or big that gap is, they're probably going to go for it. And unfortunately, a couple of people have fallen victim to it. But a very good start, of course, from Dan Mold, able to consolidate the lead. But the majority of those inside the top 10 making up some good places. Bar Russell Fowler. Let's take another look as to how things went on. And it wasn't even turn 2 before it started.
No, that was one of the Air Smart boys. I'm wondering if that might have been Mikey Pollard there that gave old Michael Lease a little bit of a pat. It wasn't Pollard, but it was up front that kicked off. Then the JSR Performance Link boys are involved down further down. Some of them made it through, but it all got a little bit messy there. I'm going to have a look and see if I can find out who the Air Smart was. But Jess Rakowski, Michael Lease, Tom Weston, all involved in that beginning ta-ta-ta, unfortunately. But we are still racing. We have got 18 minutes on the clock. Dan Mold out in front. John O'Cook, Fraser Elphick, Ian Manners, Reese Watt, Russ Fowler, Michael Pollard. And then we've got Kev Eilert leading the AMs at the moment here as well, Zach. A little bit of a messy start, but I suppose in a weird kind of way that was expected at the beginning of race 1.
Yeah, of course. Again, we've got a couple of teething issues, new drivers, new season, new tracks for some of these drivers as well. So that lack of experience could well sort of be attributed to that. It takes a long time to learn the dynamic of a race at a track. Even if you have been warned, mistakes happen. These guys are only human after all. Side by side, a little bit further back though, we've got Patrick Falconer fighting away with Kev Eilert going side by side. Falconer going the long way round, but it's the way through the S's that really do catch you up. And now look at that. As you can see, Alan McCain trying to get himself into the mix. He slots himself ahead of Eilert and might well be looking to go to the inside by the time they reach the next braking zone. That, of course, will be into the hairpin corner of turn 11. Inside line once again for Kev Eilert. He's going to try and send the move, but look for John Brown to go the long way around as well as they run their way in towards the hairpin, and multiple cars going side by side, showcasing how good Sonoma is as a racing track. Yeah,
Reese Watt battling out with Ian Manners. They're both in the JW Motorsport team. Then you've got Russ Fowler, Performance Link AI Race Summaries Wiener team of Mikey Pollard there with Paddy Faulkner, his teammate, a couple of places back, just coming over the hill there as well. CRG up 10 places, Zach, sitting in 14th in class, 17th overall. He's kind of benefited from that first lap shenanigans, should we say, that happened on that run up into turn 2, and now he's doing a great job as they're heading down into 5 here. Now turn 5, this curb, I'm not going to lie, on the inside, I watched Jay Corley practice it a few times and he hit it very heavy and he got caught in that tyre barrier. So that turn 5 corner is going to trip people out. CRG goes up the inside here as well of Scott Malcolm on turn 6. He's getting to grips with that Honda lap by lap, I think, here, Zach. And it's doing a great job and moved himself up 11 places at the moment.
Yeah, of course, the best teacher is experience, getting out there, doing it, learning something different with every single corner that you go through. A new car is always a huge adjustment to have. And of course, I know we've stated CRG so far, but he's done a brilliant job. And again, the more he drives it, the better he'll get. Ducking, diving, and searching for some gaps here. As you can see, trying to find his way through. A number of cars going wide there. I believe was Jay Corley, I think, running a little bit wide going into the hairpin. The AM champion, of course, not really settling into the pros too well in his opening stage, but then again, still up 3 places. Again, just needs to sort of learn how brutal the pro guys are, and of course up the pace a little bit. That adjustment from AM to pro definitely noticeable, but well, I'm sure he'll learn with each race, and he's having a good little fight here with of course with Callum Regatta himself, and then obviously Scott Malcolm just in behind as well. So Jay Corley really getting amongst some big names in this pro field.
Yeah, it definitely is at the moment. Let's have a look at this front 6 here as well. Russ Fowler for the Performance Link is at the back at the moment as they're going around turn 6 in that Audi. Then we've got the Elantra, we've got the Audi, we've got the Civic, we've got the Veloster, we've got them all here as well. Great mix of cars, great mix of drivers, great mix of Pro-Ams. It's a good split all the way through. It's going to be bedding in for what plans to be an epic season. Can Mikey Pollard here down 2 positions for the AI Race Summaries team? Can he move out past Russ Fowler? He's battling away here once more. Mikey in the Honda, Fowler in the Audi. Now we did see last season, Pollard nearly gave Russell Fowler a little bit of a dent there. We did see last season that the Audi was very strong in a straight line. It had good pace in a straight line, and it's being demonstrated by the fact that we've got Reese Watt, Russ Fowler in the top 7. It was a very quick car last season. There wasn't many changes done over the week 13 update, and I think it's going to continue to be a strong car if you know how to drive it.
Indeed so, yeah, again, you are only sort of as strong as you can drive. You know, the car is only as good as you are. So if you drive the car poorly, no matter how good the car might be on paper, it's not going to be a quick car. If it's a slightly slower car and you feel comfortable in it, then you can extract that potential out of it, then by all means, that is then going to become a quick car. There's no point getting into a car you can only extract 60% of the potential of. Get into a car that, you know, works for you, and I suppose if you can sort of adjust yourself to the quicker car, absolutely fantastic, but not a lot of people can. So yeah, the car choices are going to be interesting, especially as we
there's somebody
go through the season. Oh no!
That's Michael Lee.
Someone.
That was a collision. Oh no!
Oh, he's got it wrong. Exactly what we said about
Exactly.
making turn 10 more of a corner.
Yep, and he got it all wrong. Hit the curb there, unfortunately. Straight off. He's on there trying to get it stopped. He's sitting there waiting. Now watch what happens here. Everybody's going round him, and then boom, Fowler and Mikey Pollard sends him up in the air. And unfortunately there as well is not an ideal scenario for Russ Fowler. Let's see from his perspective. He cannot see anything at the moment. He is literally sat there right up at the moment, tucked in. You can see it now. He can't see what's gone on up front. I think they were going to expect Michael Lees to tow out the way. He's gone to the right. Bang! Oh!
And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you stay 2 seconds behind every car you see on the motorway. So you can see ahead, because if not, and they have to avoid, then boom, there's a car in front of you, side by side as well, a little bit further back. This is Alan McCain versus Kev Aylett. Of course, Aylett doing a really good job, you know, as an AM driver, really mixing it up quite nicely with some of the pros. In 9th place overall, side by side as well, as Callum Garton tries to get himself into the mix and promote himself up now into the 17th place. There's a little bit of contact, and no, he's gone bouncing off. And Alan McCain, brilliant save from CRG. Not so much, I think, from Alan McCain. That would be a very unfortunate thing, and it continues.
CRG having it coming together with the McCain there as well. We did manage to hold it. He got that sidewards car. He got that front wheel drive car as well there, battling away. And unfortunately for McCain, it didn't end so well as he come back on the track. We can have a quick look at what happened to Alan McCain. Contact with one of the performance links. He hit CRG. Look at CRG there. Oh, mate. He was Tokyo drifting that, Zach, and he did a great job.
Honestly, it was a fair save. Obviously, front-wheel drive cars, they're interesting to control because, you know, I don't know, it's weird. You don't expect a front-wheel drive car to oversteer as such, but, you know, you can catch them quite nicely because it's not the rear that, well, it is the rear that's coming around, but it's not the rear that's being powered, so it's almost easy to get it back under control. If you just brake, the car will then sort of readjust itself, snap back into place, and you can carry on again. It's really weird how front-wheel drive correct oversteer, but, you know, fair play to him. Very good car control, quick hands, and, well, you know, he's learned something about the Honda now. He's learned how to save it in a crisis. So there you go, have that. Jonathan Cook fighting away at the moment with Fraser Elphick, who's closer to him than he is to Dan Mould. So he would like to get a move on for the lead, but Mould at the moment just so secure in his lead at the moment. He's just, well, Dan Mould things.
Yeah, I've got an update from Michael Lees as well. You know, we saw Michael was sat in the middle of the track, right? He said my game just crashed. I don't know what happened. My screens just froze. So, yeah, for Michael Lees, a bit tough, isn't it, really, for him on that one? You can't do nothing about software. issues, can you?
No, absolutely not. It's the equivalent of, a spontaneous puncture or a gearbox, blowing up in real life. Those things that you have absolutely no control over and just happen. It's just an unfortunate way for things to end in sim racing, especially when you've got no one to blame. Because if you've got someone else to blame, if they crash into you, then it's great. You can vent your frustration out on them. Obviously, in your own head. If you're the cause of the incident, you spin out by yourself, you can then vent your frustration to yourself. And then when something outside of anyone's control does happen, it's almost just like, well, who do you blame? Where does the frustration go? Because there's nothing anyone could have done. There was no way necessarily to avoid it, and it's just happened. That split second, and boom, all of that hard work is gone. In the blink of an eye, and it can, very quickly just throw things on its head, as it has done, of course, with Michael Lees with, the software issues and things. So very unfortunate, but let's hope he's back raring to go for race number 2 and the season to come, because again, one race of the 20 that we're going to have over the course of the season is not telling of your championship battle. We've got Victor Brown on the back of Kev Ayler as it stands. This is, of course, the fight for the AM lead at the moment, so high stakes.
Yeah, definitely there as well, and Michael Lees is quite upset about the fact that his game just crashed, sent him into a black screen, frozen screen. He didn't know what happened, so he was trying to press the buttons and unfortunately couldn't get out of where he was, hence the chaos after. So let's see what goes on here with the lead of the AMs with Victor Brown and Kev Ayler doing a great job, 9th and 10th overall. Top 15 reverse for race 2. At the moment, Crowther's going to be your pole man. So Derek Crowther has jumped back into the TCRs. Is going to be your pro man here, but we're on board with the Performance Link Esports Red of Victor Brown in the AMs, doing a great job in that Audi, giving Kev Ayler a little bit of pressure. So but Ayler has got to be looking at what he's going to do down into the hairpin. Is he going to defend, Zach, or is he going to open up the door? What do you think is going to be the best way?
Obviously, he wants to win this AM race. He wants to maximise his points haul, but Victor Brown obviously showcasing his pace over the course of qualifying is also going to equally want to find a way through as well. So, but Ayler, I'd say defend. Yeah, again, you get more points if you do defend, so why not? It is tricky though, and don't make mistakes like that. That is a big no-no. You can debate whether or not he should defend this AM lead or not. Making mistakes, definitely not what you want to be doing as you rise up through the left, then the right. Very undulating circuit, this is Sonoma, very much a roller coaster in its own right. Then you run your way into towards the back end of the circuit here at turns 4A, which is weirdly called 4A because there's not even a 4B. And then you head your way into turn 7 because that makes so much sense. And, well, anyway,
Stop
Kev
it.
Ayler under still the pressure. Honestly, we're in the Americas, James. We've got a whole season of me ranting about corner names and numbers here.
I know. I think the problem is with that is not the fact that obviously we miss out what is effectively turn 4, 5, 6, right? Because obviously we've taken the historic layout, so that's why they're there, and that's why it's turn 4 to 7. It's not the fact that me and Zach can't count, it's the fact that that's happened. CRG. Well, I've got my shoes and socks on, so I'm done after I get to 10. CRG battling away here with Victor Brown, JB Deju in the fight once more. Back up front though, we got Fraser Elphick putting here as well in that SRL. Amber, he's being chased down by Reese Watt. Now Reese is new into the series as well. He did say to me, he said, James, I'm in pro. I said, well, I've been told, Reese, I've been told. And clearly it shows the young man deserves to be a pro here as well. Battling out at the front, 4th place, up 4 positions. Oh, just missed the tyre barrier, coming out of 5 there. So, you know, that's the tyre barrier that we did mention. They hit that curb, they are going to be in trouble. CRG's just cleared Kev Ayler. Ayler's obviously just been cleared by Victor Brown. And now he's got JB Deju fighting out behind him. Jess Rakowski, Tom Woodcock battling it out further down for 7th and 8th in class. Now I am surprised about this young man. Tom Weston did a great job with Quali, down 12 places. That's not an ideal scenario. Now, did he get caught up in that beginning incident for Weston, and that's what sent him down the places? I'm quite surprised he's quite far down already.
Yeah, I mean, I'll be honest, I'm not entirely sure. I think you know, the most obvious answer is the fact that he's been caught up in an external incident, and it
set it
was.
off.
Yeah. And then he gets caught here, doesn't he?
No,
Yeah,
he goes.
does.
Yeah, he goes off into the and gets.
That's solid.
Yeah, mate, you can't go through there. Can't park there, sir. And unfortunately for Weston, he's got to go all the way around. So it was Weston who kicked off the chaos at the front.
The fact it was only 12 places then is actually impressive. Like, maybe he's made some more overtakes since, but yeah, that was fair enough for only losing 12 places there, Mr. Tom Weston. Anyway, back to the front. We've got Stephen Fry under pressure from Patrick Falconer just ahead, and then just behind, and then just ahead we've got Fraser Elphick and Reese Watt powering his way through the field, and would like to get himself a debut podium in the pros, of course, following along with Falconer. And he is all over the back. But again, do you fight this for fourth place or for fifth place, or you know, you could see the podium only a second and a half ahead? You know, buckle down and go for it, surely.
Yeah, I would. I don't think Paddy Faulkner's going to back out. Let's just put it that way. He's not one to sit back and go, oh yeah, it's all right, I'll just sit here. Paddy's going to go for it. You know what I mean? And I think that's the thing. So I've seen the guy play poker. He went for it in play, and we were only playing poker, Zach. You know what I mean? So if he's on a racetrack, he's a different personality. So Kev Eilert, JB Deju having a nice little tidy battle. But look at this: Chris Barnes, Tom Woodcock, Jess Rakowski. Well, I would not suggest going 3 wide up through turn 1 and 2.
No, I wouldn't either. It's not a good idea on lap 1. It's not definitely not a good idea. Going on to lap 12, they've just about managed to keep it clean though, nose to tail, the 3 of them. So definitely looking pretty good. This lot. Chris Barnes, obviously, Woodcock ahead, and Rakowski, of course, on her first of many home races this season, would be looking to impress on hopefully at least one of them. And right now, she's trying to pick her way up through a couple more places up into what will be fourth place in the AMS as it stands. So yeah, well, oh no, yeah, fifth place in the AMS as it stands if she is able to find her way up in front. Actually, no, it will be fourth place because they're all behind Tom Woodcock and Derek Crowther. Anyway, ignore me. Maybe I am bad at counting. Maybe I did see it as turn 4 to turn 7 legitimately, and it wasn't a mistake from the formatting here at Sonoma. Anyway, Woodcock is fighting away. He's able to bridge a little bit of a gap, which is, if I can count, 8 tenths quicker than the rest of them. So he's doing all right. I should hope you can count, considering it tells you on the left-hand side. So, you know, and tells you on the timing tower. Ian Manners battling away with CRG. CRG up 18 places. Just about to make another one in this there as well in the Honda that he hates so much for CRG. But he is up 19 places now. So he's definitely getting to grips. JB Deju, Kev Eilert are going to be looking at battling over the last couple of minutes here as well. I've got a funny feeling there might be one more. I'll keep an eye on the time, keep an eye on down mode here, Zach. But we're coming down to the nitty-gritty already of race 1, and it's gone absolutely flying by. It has done, yeah, as we expected, to be fair, with the carnage and chaos that has been happening. Great battling as well, in all fairness, here at Sonoma. So very much impressed with the standard of driving that we've seen. We've got a 3-way fight here, by the way. This is, of course, for the AM lead with JB Deju just latching onto the back of them as well. So we've got Victor Brown and Kev Eilert battling away, and will be looking to, of course, etch themselves as the first AM winner of the new season of the JPB TCR Cup, of course, taking to the North American side of things. But here's Dan Mould. Is it? No, one to go.
One more to go. Yeah, it was going to be very close. He clocked it at 1:27. It's a 1:18 lap time, so very close there as well. We're going to have one more here at Sonoma Cup Historic Circuit for the opening heat of this race. And what an opening heat it has absolutely been. I've loved this as well. Seeing these cars on a completely different circuit compared to what you normally see them on, Zach, was a great job. British Tour last season, American Tour this season. Where could we possibly be going next season?
I don't know. You know, I don't. So let's bring it on. I'd like to go. I don't know. We can't really do much more within the UK because we literally did all of the UK tracks last season. European Tour, maybe World Tour. I don't know. Because we say World Tour, but we're really just going to go to the UK. A couple of tracks in Europe. We'll go down to probably Phillip Island, and then go back up to the US for some stuff. So it's not really a world tour, it's more just those 3 countries that we might you know, go into at some point. World Tour would be nice if we could, but maybe a trip for Europe first. Let's get the European stuff done and dusted, and then once we've sort of done all of that and we've gone through the continents, then let's do the World Tour and combine everything that we've all learned over the course of the last few seasons. Yeah, long time goals.
Okay, well, you never know. You never know what's going to happen. Let's just put it that way. Dan Mould is coming on the last lap of the race here. Dan Mould for the SRL Next Gen team. There's Barney waving frantically as well. This battle for the AM place is slowly spreading out with Victor Brown looking at taking the victory. There's that tricky off camber blind corner turn 2 before you go running down through 3 and 4 here as well. The racing's been epic, Zach. I think for an opening round at the circuit, nobody was sure was going to work. I think we can safely say it's working well.
Of course it has. Yeah, lack of faith from these guys. A brilliant circuit is Sonoma. Fun to drive, sort of, you know, by yourself, hot lapping. Fun to race as well if you can do it right. And that's the thing. Some people are scared of different circuits because, you know, whether you've had bad experiences there before or, you know, you're not very quick at the track. But anyway, Dan Mould, no doubt in his mind that he's going to be absolutely loving Sonoma today, as he's going to cruise his way from a lights to flag victory.
He is here as well. Dan Mould heading over the line. He's come round the final corner. He's going to whiz it off here as well. Dan Mould's going to take the opening round for the American Tour Championship in Sonoma. John O'Cook in second. Fraser Alphick's going to come over the line in third here. What's going to happen in the AMS? It is between Victor Brown. I've got a funny feeling Brown is going to take this here as well. Victor Brown is going to come over and take that victory in the AMS. He does do, with Kev Aylett in second place. So a great run there for Victor Brown, new to the series this season. Him and Scott Malcolm for the Performance League Esports boys, red and yellow. Podium in it out, sandwiching the podium here for first and third place. Great job.
Nice. Good job. Yeah, respect it. Great way to open the season. Of course, we go into race 2 in a few moments' time, so let's see what they can do in that regard. But yeah, I think a really good way to kickstart the season. Obviously, it wasn't too crazy, but you know, it wasn't mundane. So it was a nice median, I think, to sort of introduce us to the season, bed us in quite nicely, give the newer guys a chance to, you know, get acclimatized with people, learn the dynamic, and then obviously for the veterans to dust off the cobwebs a little bit and get themselves back into the swing of things. So yeah, not a bad way to open it out. And well, now everyone sort of learned what they need to learn. Race 2 will be even more chaotic.
Here we go. Here is the results. Dan Mould is your winner with John O'Cook in second, Fraser Alphick third. Now, I want to give Jono a shout out, right? Not because he does work for JPB anyway on the multi. He does all my socials and everything else. He does a wonderful job, right? I've got to shout out Jono. Jono entered last season, right? And out of the 12 races we did have, he only finished, I think it was 4, he said to me. He only finished 4 races. He ended up getting caught up in people's incidents. Now, he's done a great job here. Finished the first race already in second. So a massive shout out to Jono there as well. Reese Watt doing a great job as well. New to the series in 4th. Stephen Fry, Paddy Faulkner, John Brown, Callum Regarden. Amazing job up 19 places in 8th. Ian Manners in 9th. Then we go into the AMS with Victor Brown and Kev Aylett, your 1-2. JB Deju separating it with Scott Malcolm there. Carl Jacqueline in 14th. Deck Crowther 15th. Tom Woodcott 16th. Chris Barnes down in 17th. Then we got Jess Rakowski, Lee O'Brien, Tom Weston, Mikey Pollard, Tom Anderson, Dan Lewis, James Ellis, Jay Corley, Alan McCain, and Russ Fowler is the last one there as well. Russ, of course, got caught up with that Mikel Lease incident. Bit of a shame, but not a lot Mikel could do about that.
Not really. Again, his, you know, he was at the mercy of his software, who, you know, didn't really shine down too well on him, unfortunately. So, yeah, not really much that he can do, as I say, unfortunate. And again, it is just unlucky that other people got involved because, you know, what do you want Mikel Lease to do? He's not magic. He can't, you know, drive blindfolded.
Exactly, and he can't just disappear, can he?
It's not his fault. No, you have to come to complete stop and then press and hold escape, which, by the way, if he hasn't got a button mapped to his wheel to request a tow, he's then got to reach for his keyboard, press escape, find his way back, because you don't expect it to do during a race, so you don't really have it close to you sort of, to have on hand. So you've then got to stop, reach, press it, wait however long, it's 2 or 3 seconds, to then actually go back to the pit lane. In that time, you've had 15 cars rush past you. Chances are at least 1 or 2 of them are going to hit you. So yeah,
and
again,
they did.
It's weird because you've got no one to blame. Yeah, obviously they did. Of course they did. It was a fast corner, a blind corner as well, with so many cars. Something was going to happen.
I agree. And for Mikey Pollard and Russ Fowler, it did definitely happen. TRC ovals. Ooh, don't know about that. NASCAR tour. TRC ovals. It'd be amazing. No. What do you reckon? And is it not TCR? I've got to point out, right? We are watching it. Yeah, we are watching a TCR league. TCR on ovals.
Touring racing car.
Touring. Yeah, no. What do we reckon? Ovals? Surely that can't work, can it? I know I'm full of crazy ideas at times. Yeah, or Dega. You imagine these cars flat out on Talladega.
Well, they wouldn't even be able to maintain their speed around the oak. They just slide down it.
Yeah. I don't know. I don't think that could work. And you can't tow while spinning. You have to be stopped, exactly. However, I would say you need a button bound for the escape menu. Now, I do as well, but it's on my... When I did drive, it was on my Stream Deck, so I could just reach and press the button. But as you say, the car's got to be stopped. And unfortunately, if Michael Lees can't see what's going on, he doesn't know if he's stopped or not. So, for him... It was a bit of a shame. Right, 1 minute to go before we go into the 30-minute that top 15 reverse feature race.
Yeah, longest race that these guys are going to be used to in TCRs. 30 minutes for a touring car race is a long time. Like, I think the longest I've done for a touring car race is 20 minutes. That seems to be sort of the average, 15, 20 minutes for touring cars. 30 minutes is quite a while. Actually, no, it's not. I lie. The longest race I've done was about 45 minutes, but and an endurance race. But endurance races don't count. In actual TCR format, the longest I've done is 40 minutes. But 30, relative to what the norm is for touring cars, that is a long time.
Absolutely.
So really does sort of add to the dynamic of it, sort of with the attrition. You've got to be consistent for longer. You've got to be quick for longer. You've got to put up with things for longer. So, yeah, I think we're in for a shot because, again, even for the new guys, this is a learning curve for them. This is the longest they've gone.
Yeah, absolutely. I fully agree, and it's going to be exciting. I just hope that we've worked out the fuel correctly. I will thank John Brown for that. He has been testing it for me as well, and he said, right. I've got it, James. I said, okay. He said, 36 litres will be more than enough. I said, all right. I rely on you, John. You're driving. I don't. So hopefully we've got this correct and nobody runs out of fuel before the end of the race. A grid for race 2. You can see them getting on very quickly. Deck Crowther in first. Carl Jacklett second. Scott Malcolm third. 1, 2, 3 of AMS. JB Deju in fourth, Kev Eilert in fifth, Victor Brown in sixth, Ian Manners, Callum Reed-Garton, John Brown, Paddy Faulkner rounds out your top 10. Then you've got Stephen Fry, Reese Watt, Fraser Elphick, John O'Cook, and your winner, Dan Mould, in 15th. Then you've got the other Rams and Tom Woodcock, Chris Barnes, Jess Rakowski, Leo Bryan and Tom Weston. Mikey Pollard down in 21st, but he did get caught up in the incident. Tom Anderson, Dan Lewis, James Ellis, Jay Corley, Alan McCain, Russ Fowler, and hopefully Michael Lees if his stuff works. So let's see. Deck Crowther on pole. Hasn't driven a TCRs for a very long time, and is sitting on pole position. So strap in. Here we go. 3 lights, 4 lights, 5 lights. And it's green, green, green for this 30-minute feature race here at Sonoma. Deck Crowther out in front with Carl Jacklin. Scott Malcolm tucked up right behind him here as well as they go running up in the hill into that tricky turn 2. They've all been warned. Did they all learn from race 1? Did they all learn from race 1? They did. Everybody's through. Everybody's through. Great job there for Deck Crowther. Still out in front at the moment with Carl Jacklin tucked up right behind him.
Yeah, nice start. Really well done for the most part. A couple of people having a couple of track limits excursions, but yeah, for the most part, everyone keeping it nice and clean and pointing the right way. Good start, of course, for Derek Crowther, Carl Jacklett, Scott Malcolm, and Kev Eilert. The round off the top 4.
Hold off. Oh no! Did he hit the curb in 5? Oh! That's a Honda and a JSR. Was that Tom Woodcock? Oh no! Did he come over? Oh, that's a hard one to call there, Zach. Gotta be honest. That's a tough one.
Agreed. Again, it's just one of those things. I mean, then again, looking back on it, he stayed straight, right? I mean, I'm trying to think.
Did he? Did he?
Did he?
Yeah, did he?
Well, let me watch it back on the stream.
Hold on.
And,
there you go.
Let's have a look. Let's have a look. There's a little bit. No, you're right. Yeah. As he pressed the brake pedal, the car
moved.
It leant over to the left-hand side. No, fair enough. Yeah.
Yeah, he moved. Mikey Pollard here as well with Chris Barnes, Tom Weston. Weston recovering, of course. He's up 3 in 17th place at the moment. Look at CRG. Up 3 places, sitting in 5th overall. First in the pros. The AMs are out in front. Crowther, Jacklett, Malcolm on Eilert. And now CRG does go past Kev Eilert as well. Could be on for a win here for CRG in a car that he despises. Chris Barnes in that Blade Designs battling away with Alan McCain. And also, no.
Wow.
That happened.
That did. Weston was like, cheers, mate, on the brakes. It's fine. Everything's good.
Oh, he come over.
I think he was right to, though.
Yeah, but he wasn't, he didn't have his, the car behind, the Blade Designs of Chris Barnes had his nose alongside. Look. He's alongside.
Yeah, if he wasn't alongside, he wouldn't have spun. No, that's fair. More room could have been given.
Definitely.
Can we ride on board with him actually? I'd
Weston
like to.
or Barnes?
With Barnes. I'd like to ride on board with Barnes. I'd like to have a look, sort of, to see it from his perspective as to how far alongside he was. So
there we go.
Coming in, obviously the long way round. He is there. He is there.
He is there, Zach. I'm sorry. I think Weston there should have left a little bit more room. I
agree.
I think he was there.
But in the spirit of not being in an incident, surely you'd brake, right? I get it. I've said this before, right? There's being in an incident. There's being in an incident, but you're in the right, and then there's not being in an incident at all. 2 out of those 3 ruin your race. One of them, sure, you might have to back out and lose a place or 2, but at least you're still in the race, right? Surely it gets to a point where you sort of say, you know what, I could go for that, and if we do crash, it's fine because it's not my fault. But surely you'd rather avoid the crash altogether.
Yes, but they are racing drivers. Have you tried telling a racing driver to back out at any point? Let us know in YouTube chat. Richard Simnar there as well. Mold's fault guy on the edge of the circuit was there. I've done that a million times. Yep, the overlap was there. Not much overlap, mind you, but it was there. And I do agree the overlap was there. CRG now in 2nd place in that Honda, chasing down Deck Grava. John Brown sitting 5th in class at the moment. He's got Reese Watt, John O'Cook climbing his way through the field as well. Where is Dan Mold? Mold's battled all the way back to 19th at the moment. So a great job from him with Fraser Uffett, Chris Barnes and Russell Fowler behind that. Battles all the way through, but Deck Crowther now just losing that place to CRG. Not his fault, not his fight, sorry. Deck Crowther did what he had to do there, Zach. Move over, fight the guys behind you, right? Kev, you've got Jacklett, Malcolm and Eilert. Let CRG go. You might learn something off the back end of him.
Yeah, for sure. To be fair, you might be able to launch a counter-attack. He's driving a Honda after all. But anyway.
Steady.
I'm good. Also, by the way, the entirety of the top 10, now top 11, now 12 is Reese Watt has lost a couple of places. Top 13, no, now top 14, top 15 are all cars that start with H, and that's just increasing. Top 16 now are all either a Honda or a Hyundai. Yeah. I don't know, that's just an interesting fact to me. That's interesting. Let's see what happened to Reese Watt, though.
There isn't anywhere she can go there. I'm not going to lie. That is a toughie to separate that. I don't even know where you would go. Oh. Yeah, not sure on that one, to be honest.
Not my problem. I'm not a steward, so it's all right. It's all good. I don't have to. I don't have to deal with that. Honestly, one of the worst jobs that I can think of in sim racing, but one of the most needed, one of the most respected. But you know, no matter what decision you make, whether it's the right or the wrong one, someone's not going to be happy with you. You know, so you sort of just, yeah. It's just one of those things that in sim racing it's a job that I wouldn't want because, you know, as I say, you're never in the right. You're never going to make everyone happy, and someone's always going to have something to say. So yeah, but in that situation, again, it's one of those tough ones to call. Obviously, stewards and things will have all the angles, all the cameras. One of the great things about sim racing is you can put a camera wherever you like and watch your back as many times as you want as well, which definitely does help. So yeah. I'm sure they're going to be spending a lot of time as, oh my goodness me, who's this? Alan McCain is off. So both of the SRL Next Gen cars have had issues in this race.
Well, Alan McCain is not in the SRL Next Gen. He is a part...
Oh no, it's Adam Delmont, isn't it? Of course. No, sorry.
Did you see that? He drove into the barrier on the exit. Watch.
What, did he take too much of the infield?
Too much, watch.
Oh no, he didn't. Oh no, he didn't.
Watch.
Did he go in between those two? He did. Oh my god, what a numpty. What an absolute numpty.
Oh, Alan McCain. Oh, poor Alan McCain. On board with Dick Crowber now, who's fighting it out with Carl Jacklett and Scott Malcolm with Kev Aylett there as well. If anybody wants to give Alan a little bit of grief for driving himself into the barriers, come on the way. Oh, Jacklett. Oh. Tokyo Drift, Carl Jackley is now under pressure from Malcolm. Malcolm's going to have the inside line here, I think. No, watch the barriers. Oh, Malcolm does make it through. Jackley runs wide. That's going to release Kev Aylett. Aylett's going to have a go now as well as they come over the line. They're going to be side by side. The JAASR team and the photomedia.uk heading up through turn one. Side by side at the moment. Aylett backed in. Right move for Kev Aylett there, Zach. Unfortunately, he's now going to get a run out of two. He's going to plummet down the hill. Through three they go. They're going to be side by side here as well. Keep it, keep it, keep it. Oh, my dearie me. I think I've just had a kitty litter. And here we go now with JB Deju trying to get involved as well. If anybody wants any free kittens, contact JPB Broadcasting and I will supply them.
Right. The most weird and wonderful things come out of your mouth, James, and I respect it. I spend a lot of time with you over the course of the week.
We do,
and it's taken a toll. It very much is noticeable. It's just interesting.
What, that you actually enjoy commentary?
Funnily enough, yeah, that is why I do it. Yeah. It is a funny thing, you know. It's so horrible being able to sit in my bedroom with a cup of tea and be paid to talk about pretend race cars. How dreadful of a life.
It's a tough job, and then you get to enjoy it and have a laugh in the process.
Well, no, because I get to do both. I get to do hard manual labour, getting greasy for 8 hours, or 9 hours actually. I'm at work, and then I get to come home, spend a couple hours chilling, and then jump onto the commentary. So I get to live both worlds, and Hannah Montana style, and I do get the best of both, and I very much do enjoy my. Well, I was about to call this my side job. It's really not. I earn more from commentary than I do my apprenticeship, which is both great and quite sad. So yeah, this is my main job.
Oh, Michael Lee's there as well. Bumped too much on that exit curve there out of turn 5. Sorry, I love listening to your story, but unfortunately there was some racing going on. Jess Rakowski battling it out here as well. In front is Reese Watt. They did have their moments of coming together in this very section, so we'll keep an eye on this one. Make sure no dramas occurred this time around here as well. Up front you can see Dan Mould and Michael Lees having a nice little battle here. Lees got too much at turn 5 as his go running off around turn 10. Here we go now. We're on board with the reigning champion, the reigning pro champion, Lees there as well. On the brakes he goes for that 55. Mould's trying to tighten up the inside line, and watch that as well. You don't want to Alan McCain it. And now, unfortunately, there as well, all of the men made it through, and now Michael Lease is under pressure here from the reigning champion.
Yeah, it's not the person you really want to be looking at in your rear view mirror. Probably one of the last people, the last person you'd want to be looking at having in your rear view mirror. But then again, you look back and you think that's the reigning champion, which means if he's behind you, you're in front of him, which means you're probably not doing too bad of a job. So yeah, good job for Michael Lease, hanging on quite nicely. And to be fair, up 15 places from where he started, so definitely not a bad drive at the moment. Let's just hope his monitor doesn't turn off again either. And yeah, you've got to be careful not to do an Alan McCain, as again, be mindful of that curb, as you've got to really wrestle the car back onto the track before you smack into that barrier. Again, many circuits have different layouts like that and sort of have that, you run wide and then the track narrows. I think Sochi as being one of them, you've got to get yourself back on track before you smack it into the barrier, or you've got to stay on the track while you turn a corner, like this one right here at the hairpin. You've got to be careful not to get too greedy with the corner cuts and find yourself smacking the barrier like Alan McCain did. But what's happened to Michael Lease? You mean the fireplace? Where he said Diagon Alley? Yeah. He did, yeah. He threw the, what is it called? Yeah. He has indeed. It's going to be a very difficult job at hand if he wants to hang on to the position he's got as it stands. But yeah, I mean, I'd want to be him at the moment because obviously he's doing really well in third place in the AMs, but also I also wouldn't want to be him because, you know, the task he's got ahead is quite a bad one. He's still got over half the race left to go. We're only 14 minutes of the way through and we've still got 16 left. So, yeah, still lots of racing to happen. And, again, that scares me every time. I know they're on the limit and I know they're in perfect control. Yeah. But I feel a little bit anxious when they run their way through there because, you know, it's like the chicane at Monaco, where sort of watching the Formula 1 drivers go through there, and they're millimeters away, and you know they're in control, but you know full well if they turned in a millimeter later, they'd be, you know, their race would be ruined right now. So, yeah, it is scary, but you know these guys are the best of the best.
Absolutely there as well. James's audio gone about the same time Michael's game crashed. I have just noticed that, and I may need to get a new Stream Deck, because I just looked down and my Stream Deck button was off. So I've got this funny feeling my Stream Deck's going on the cock. So I may have to order another Stream Deck there as well. So not an ideal scenario. Sorry guys there as well. Thank you so much for letting us know. We are back and running. Hopefully you can hear me. My mic is moving in OBS, so that's always good. Here once more with the Kev Aylett, JB Deju, Ian Manners battle, and Jono Cook mixing it up as well. Is Jono going to finish 2 races out of 2 this evening, Zach? Doing a great job sitting in 7th overall.
He is doing a brilliant job. Very much... yeah, very, very respectable stuff. Up 7 places into 7th. So, lucky number 7, of course, for Jonathan Cook. Looking very, very strong. And, well, I'm sure there's still more opportunity. I mean, a 3rd place overall is not, you know, entirely impossible. Still half the race to go. They're all in this long train queuing up behind Carl Jacklett. So, pick them off one by one, and a podium for sure is on the table.
Yeah, he definitely is there. Can he make it through Can he make it through? Thanks, Richard, for sending me a message in Discord telling me my mic has gone as well. As I say, I did just look down and my stream deck had muted it. Mikey Pollard up the inside here as well. He's fighting it out once more with Jono Cook in front, and he's also got Tom Woodcock behind. Woodcock's just about to try and run side by side with Dan Mould up through turn 1 here as well. Does a great job there. Woodcock manages to hold on. Mould surely got to settle in behind him. He can't take that wide line once more. We've got the JAA of Kev Aylett here as well. I'm sure that means something, and you could just call it the JSA team, but it just doesn't sound right. Carl Jacklett Photomedia.uk team in front of that, and then you've got the Performance Link and JW of Ian Manners and John O'Cook in the Honda with Pollard in the AI, and Dan Mould coming up to the back. Aylett's taking his chances with that corner there, Zach, as well. That was actually Tom Woodcock this time. The two JAA guys are really pushing that turn 5, and it could cause them a big problem if they're not careful.
Definitely could. And, you know, the high curbs here at Sonoma, you know, they're not the highest of highs, but they will still spit you out. If you ride them too much, if you do your best Tony Hawk impression and fall flat on your face, because you will. You know, you get caught up on them too much, the car stabilizes, and you very quickly find yourself into the barrier. Late on the brakes, though, Carl Jacklett running quite nicely in 3rd place. Of course, would like to be in 2nd place overall, but he's in 2nd place in the AMS, and that's the main thing that matters for him. The 42 machine running very, very nicely, but under pressure, as we say, from Kev Aylett, Dejoux, Manners, Cook, Pollard, Mould, Woodcock, Fry, Brown, Elphick, all the way down to 13th place overall, which is a huge, huge train. All of them, one after the other, queuing up, waiting for their chance. And as close as these guys are, we're not seeing much action because, you know, the advantage they all get off each other with the slipstream is negated by the fact they've got a driver in front giving them that same advantage.
Yeah, we've got Ian Manners for the JW here as well, chasing down JB Dejoux. Whoa! Aylett, oh! He launched it. He absolutely launched that car over 5. The JWA boys are definitely pushing the limits here. Him and Tom Woodcock. Now he's under pressure from JB Dejoux. They have got Carl Jacklett. You can see just about in the mirror in the top right hand corner. There is the Performance Link of John O'Cook right behind us now as well. Ian Manners going through turn 10. He's looking for that run. He's tightened it up. Taking too much of a curb in. Oh, let's keep it on track. Aylett's getting all loose as well. He's got up the inside. Manners has sent it. We're on board here, Manners. Is he going to hold it round the inside? I think he's got it. They made contact, but I think Manners has got it. Manners has got it there with JB Dejoux also looking at losing a place to John O'Cook out of that run round turn 1 and 2. What did you say, Zach? Not much overtaking. Are you blind, boy?
Well, it needed a catalyst. It's a short fuse, and well, now we've got absolute fireworks going on here right now. JB Dejoux falling back behind Jonathan Cook, who is moving his way up quite steadily through the field, side by side as well in the background behind these guys. Dan Mould moving his way past Mickey Pollard for 8th place. Dan Mould making some steady progress after a mistake earlier on. You can see Woodcock trying to go to the outside as well as they run their way in towards the infield section, the double right-hander here at turn 4A. Now as we run away into the next here at what is usually turn 7, and we're riding on board with Dan Mould. Messed up the first one though, that could knock his momentum ever so slightly, and you can see the difference. He's already lost a good couple car lengths from the cars ahead.
No, Woodcock! Hold it, hold it, hold it. He did hold it. That was the AI of Mikey Pollard. I've got a funny feeling him and Woodcock had a little ta-ta-ta. Oh, Pollard. No. There was no overlap on that one, Zach. Unfortunately, that was all on Mikey Pollard. Woodcock did well to hold it.
Yeah, he did. Very nicely controlled. Doing a little bit of JPB rallycross at the moment, cutting his way across. Yeah, we need that. Off-road is such a niche thing in iRacing. Not really many people do it, and even fewer are good at it. So maybe if we can get some good people in that, maybe we can have some rally and stuff. Because it's been a long time since I've done some off-road commentary. And I don't. No, I have done some rallycross stuff actually. It's quite an interesting form of commentary. But again, because it's obviously a very wide skill set. You've got either the people that are really good or the people that aren't very good. It's sort of makes for, you know, not great racing. But if we get a lot of these guys interested, they can all learn together. They can all be horrible together, and we can have an absolute laugh in the commentary booth, enjoying them as well. So yeah, maybe for a future season of JPB leagues coming to you, yeah, let us know. I suppose, you know, if it's in the pipeline, if there's a demand for it, it's side by side here. Definitely demand for racing going on as Ian Manners tries to find his way past Kev Ayler and up into 4th place overall, doing a brilliant job. That's 2nd place in the pros, 3 wide into the hairpin. Don't hit your way into the pit wall. That was close. They settled their way into 2 rows of 2 as up the inside. Who was that trying to pick his way through? JB Deju. Nice move.
JB Deju trying to make it there as well. That 3 wide moment, you saw Kev Ayler just kind of go, nope, there's a wall coming up and I'm aware of it. Now Mold has got through there as well. Mold's now up into the top 5 in class, plus 8 on his grid slot. Started down in 15th as well for Dan Mold. So great recovery there for Mold as well, as he's going up now through that tricky right-hander at turn 4, then coming down the hill into turn 5. Ayler, stay off the curb. Stay off the curb. He did stay off the curb, and he did a good job in the process. So great battles going on. Down Mold just gone up the inside of JB Deju. Deju hits the brakes. That's going to allow Ayler to come at him, and now Mold's in 6th overall.
Yeah, Mold driving really nicely, as we would expect. And again, the consistency, of course, winning race 1 and picking his way up to now 6th in race 2 is massive. But also for Callum Garton, of course, he started from 8th place. He's now worked his way into the lead. And we get more points for race 2 as well. So maybe he could actually so far be on a higher point tally than Dan Mold for this round, which, you know, considering all the excuses of the Honda Civic and things, would definitely not be a bad shout for CRG. But yeah, very interesting racing dynamic at the moment. We've got John Brown fighting away with Stephen Fry and Fraser Elphick, who themselves are fighting for the lower portion of the top 10. The Scotsman find his way past, but Stephen Fry is going to be giving it a good go in order to counterattack into turn number 1. Not quite close enough on this particular occasion is Stephen Fry, and Elphick finds his way up into 10th place. But once more, brilliant racing and plenty of packs keeping each other entertained. It's not just couples racing, it's, you know, triples and sometimes even quadruples having a go at each other.
Yeah, he did there as well. Tom Weston was closer to Leo Bryan there, unfortunately dropped a little bit way back. Crowther's down 11th, of course. Crowther did start on pole position, and unfortunately, well, for him, I think he's happy because he's still 4th in class at the moment. Hasn't driven TCRs for a while, and did say that he wasn't going to be up and around. Carl Jacklett, however, is up and around, and we know how difficult it is to pass Carl at the best of times, let alone if he's in AM and you're a pro. So for Carl Jacklett, well, John O'Cook, you got your work cut out. I think that's the safest way to call that one.
Indeed so. Yeah, he's in for a wild ride. I'd put it that way. It's not
he's left the door
easy.
Open. He has left the door. I've got a funny feeling Jono's up the inside. He is. John O'Cook is through there. Carl Jacklett opened the door up. Said, nope, not my fight. However, for Carl Jacklett, he's now got Ian Manners and Dan Mold scrapping away as well. Mold is battling with Manners on that run up through turn 1 as they're coming up towards the tricky turn 2. The right-hander, Mold takes it very wide. A different line to everybody else. Looks at getting that slingshot out there on that run down through 3, but it didn't really work out for him this time. It maybe looked like he might have missed his braking point.
I'd agree. Yeah, easy to brake too late, especially into a corner where there are sort of little references. And, you know, the line itself is up for interpretation. Do you hang it tight? Do you do an Alan McCain? Do you go in, you know, deep and then cut back for like apex? All of those will have different braking points. And for the Alan McCain option, the braking point is when you hit the tyre barrier on the inside. Dan Mold trying to pick his way up the inside of Ian Manners. He's done a brilliant job of that. He promotes himself side by side with the Civic. A little bit of contact between the two of them, but absolutely no foul as it stands. A little bit more there, as there you can see, oh my goodness, the 621 of JB Deju picking his way past, just saw the gap, kept his foot in. Nice move. He's now obviously got a defender going into the braking zone of turn 11, but that shouldn't be too difficult of an affair. What a move from Deju.
Yeah, he made use, and do you know why he opened that up? Did you see the little hip check from Dan Mold there as well on Ian Manners? he hit checked Manners when they were running side by side, and Manners went offline. That opened a door up for Deju, who then decided, well, I'm going to come through. You've opened a door for me. Downmold's done all the hard work. You've opened a door and I'm coming through. And that is what JB Deju made the most of there. Woodcock here with this battle with Crowther. And also, who is that alongside? That's John Brown, I believe. Yeah, it is. John Brown, Alit, Crowther and Woodcock. So this was a nice little battle developing here. Chris Barnes as well with Lee O'Brien. Ooh.
Oh, beautiful. James is having a malfunction. He'll be back in just a moment.
I'm back.
He's all right. He's all right. He's chilling.
I got a waft and I was sneezing after that. I do apologise. Can't help that, unfortunately. Jay Corley, Tom Weston, Leo O'Brien, Chris Barnes. This should be nice as well. And Carl Jacklett now under pressure from Downmold. John O'Cook did get through. I've got a funny feeling Downmold's going to get through. He is as well. Jacklett kind of, I think, plays it sensible. He knows he's got a lot of cars between him and third, right? Scott Malcolm's going to be in the same boat as he was. So I don't think Malcolm's going to lose that amount of positions over the next 3 minutes to get into the clutches of Jacklett. And Jacklett definitely isn't going to lose all of his positions down to Kev Aylett. So I think that could be smart move from Jacklett. Play it as it comes. Don't allow them through. Tom Weston, Leo Bryan, side by side. Weston's just gone up the inside there. Great job. Now chasing after Chris Barnes. Sorry, him and Deck Crowther got the same livery as they battle away as well for 6th, 7th and 8th in the AMs. But look at this. 30, nearly 20-second gap in a car he hates. Come on.
Yeah, supposedly. That's what he wants us to think. Oh, I don't like the Civic. I don't like the Civic. I'm not very quick in the Civic. I don't think we ever saw a gap bigger than 20. I don't even think we even saw a combined gap of 21 seconds over any point so far last season between race 1 and race 2. The biggest I can't even remember a big gap. They've all been really close, you know, maybe 2 or 3 seconds for the lead or whatever, but 21.5 seconds. What?
Flying. Not bad for a man.
Last.
Yeah, he was, well, he's up 7, didn't he? He started, last in race 1, moved up 19 positions or something crazy, and then goes and puts it in 8th, starts in 8th, and then gains 7 and takes the lead. You can't question me. I don't know. Maybe he was sandbagging. I'm not sure. I don't know. I'm just putting it out there. But CRG, 21.5 seconds out in front is going to be this one and one more. Then we're going to be on to the final lap. Tom Woodcock battling out with Deck Crowther here as well. Blade Designs and JAASR battling it out once more, both in Hondas. So this should be a nice little tidy battle with the third Honda of Paddy Faulkner coming up behind him here as well. 1:27 on the clock. Going to be the final lap next time around.
Yeah, this race has flown by. Really looking forward, obviously, to seeing in that fight for second because, well, that's all this race has really been since CRG took the lead. But yeah, it's flown by in a flash, and, well, time definitely does fly while you're having fun. The first 30-minute race in JPB TCR history. Callum Regarten is going to start his final tour of Sonoma. And, well, he's done a brilliant job. He's going to finish 20 seconds clear of the rest of the pack, 22 seconds clear of the rest of the pack to be exact as it stands at the moment. John Cook on the back of Scott Malcolm. This is the fight for second place overall. John Cook wants the points, but I have to say, fair play Scott Malcolm for being up there in an AM car.
Teams. Performance League Esports Blue are the pros. Performance League Esports Yellow are the AMs. Now, it's not going to affect the position. Jono could act as a defender with Dan Mould closing up, of course, for Scott Malcolm to finish second overall. Or he says, here, Scott, shift it. You know what I mean? I don't know. He hasn't got long, mind you, because he's coming up through turn 4 now. So what do we reckon is going to happen? Is he going to hold on and defend for Malcolm? Or is he going to want Malcolm to get out of the way?
I don't know. You've not got long left. I mean, Dan Mould is obviously going to go for the move into the inside of what is normally turn 7. Mould definitely likes this section of circuit, is where he's made the majority of his overtakes. A little bit of ding-dong battling with Jonathan Cook. This is, of course, the podium fight between these two and second place in the pros. It's going to allow Malcolm to get away ever so slightly, but about to cross the line is the man himself, CRG.
Yeah, CRG takes the win in the car he despises by all accounts, takes the victory, and he's going to take it by a country mile. well. What's going to happen with Dan Mould and John O'Cook? Is Cook going to hold it? Mould's going to try the outside line. I don't know if it's going to work. He's going to try and slingshot back. Malcolm's going to come over the line in the AMS. Malcolm's second overall in the AMS. John O'Cook is going to hold on. He is going to come over the line. He is going to take second place. What's going to happen with Fraser Elphick and Ian Manners? They're all going to come over the line. Oh! Nearly neck and neck through that group of cars. Stunning job from all of them. Then you've got Tom Weston and Leo Bryan. What's going to happen down into this final corner? Is Weston going to send it? Bryan's covering the inside. Weston a wall. Oh! He's going to try. Oh, he's overcooked it. He's overcooked it, Zach. He's not going to make it now.
Nah, you wouldn't think so. Yeah, into the final corner. Unfortunate for Weston there, but easily done, especially in times of desperation. But what a race and what a round to kickstart the season as well. Really impressed with the standard of driving, the pace from the new guys, the pace from the old guys, and the absolute lame excuse from Callum Regan there.
Yeah,
he's gonna claim, oh, it was luck, and oh yeah, the guys are battling, and oh, I really hate the Civic. But mate, you're not fooling anyone. You took the fast lap of the race. You matched Dan Mould's pace at 1:18.1, right? It's not even like they were battling and you pulled a gap. You were quick. So he's chatting rubbish.
Yeah, I think he's sandbagging a little bit. Not gonna lie. Here are the results. CRG is your winner by 23 seconds over the AM performer and my driver of the day in the feature. So Scott Malcolm there as well. John O'Cook in third, Dan Mould fourth. That's your 1, 2, 3 in your pros. Carl Jacklett claims second place in the AMS with JB Dejoux in 6th, Ian Manners 7th, Fraser Elphick 8th, Stephen Fry 9th, John Brown in 10th. Kev Aylett claims the last podium position for JAASR with his teammate Tim Woodcock in 12th. Paddy Faulkner 13th, Deck Crowber 14th, Chris Barnes 15th, Jay Corley down in 16th, and Mikey Pollard down in 17th place. Leo Bryan and Tom Weston battling it out down to the line. O'Brien took that one with Dan Lewis in 20th, James Ellis 21st, Tom Anderson 22nd, Russ Fowler, Jess Rakowski, Alan McCain, Reese Watt, Michael Lees, who disappeared into the upside down and never to be seen again. And then just behind that, you've got Victor Brown there as well. Well, that for me, I think sums up the opening round. That was a good opening round. It was a great opening round. It was battling all the way through. It was really good. I loved it.
Yeah, great success for the opening round of the championship. You know, at circuit, a lot of people doubted. They didn't, think much out of Sonoma, but it has delivered with, carnage, chaos, excitement, crashes, lows, highs for a lot of drivers. But all in all, very successful. And I think the best catalyst for a new season, a really good way to set the stage and to, make us want more.
Absolutely. Let's start having a chat with these drivers. Let's bring in Carl Jacklett, who has joined us here as well. Carl, welcome in. Thank you so much for joining us there. And, not a bad evening of racing for you, dear sir.
I'm very happy with that. That's a podium for the AMS in the second race. Not quite sure what I was in the first one. Was it fourth or fifth or something?
Well, you're down 3, so you started in second. That would have put you in 13th. Maybe a little.
But in AMS, I'm talking about.
Oh, you're second in AMS in race 2, yeah. You're third in fourth in AMS, I think, in race 1.
Okay, so fourth and a second. I'm very happy with that. That's cool.
It's not a bad way of opening up your account, is it? Let's be real. We've come to a track that there were debates. I'm not going to put it lightly. There were debates, Carl, about the circuit, whether or not it was going to work. What's your impression of this circuit here this evening?
It's a tough track. Very, very hard to pass. You're not going to get past unless someone either lets you or makes a mistake. I let the pros go. I wasn't fighting with them. You fight with them too much and end up in the kitty litter. But no, you got to play the long game, and that's what I'm trying to do.
Yeah, and I think we did bring it up in the broadcast, to be honest, as well. I think that was a smart move from you to let them through, because you did have a lot of time to
There was a big gap
yeah,
behind.
that's what I was trying to say, I think, in my own kind of special way. There was a big gap behind. You weren't going to really catch Scott Malcolm, but you did what you had to do to secure the second place.
Yeah, absolutely. You can't throw it away by being daft racing people that you're not going to beat.
Well, I'm impressed with that, Mr. Carl Jacklett, as well. So well done to you. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before I let you go?
Yeah, I'm going to give a shout out to you guys, of course, and everyone who's in the league. Because without them, we wouldn't have a league.
Absolutely, fully agree. Thank you so much, Carl, for joining me. I look forward to chatting to you as the season goes on.
Yeah, looking forward to it.
Take care, mate.
And you. Cheers.
All right, let's have a chat with another AM who's had an incredible night. The Scotsman of Malcolm, third in race 1, first in race 2, and not only that, he secured a second overall by the skin of his teeth because he drove so well. Scott Malcolm, welcome into you, sir.
How's it going, guys?
Mate, you got to be happy with that.
I'm over the moon about that. I cannot believe that. That's just happened today. Moved to a different car, different team. I'm speechless. I'm speechless.
Well, as I say, that's a good start to you in your championship. That should put you literally up near the top. I think you and Carl Jacklett are going to be close with Kev Aylett. The AM field this season is going to be very tight, Scott. You're going to have to be on it every single race, I think, because this AM field is very, very close.
Yeah, I did that when I seen the list of arms going up. I thought, this is not going to be as, how would I put it, a 3-horse race like last season.
Yeah.
3 or 4 horse race. There's a lot of fast drivers in there. As you've seen with the times there. And a few of them have changed cars like myself, so it might take a wee while longer to get used to it. I maybe just got lucky tonight with that tag. But long season, anything can happen. So take this all day long. I'll see what happens for the rest of the season.
Absolutely incredible job there, Scott. Well done to you. A great opening for your Performance Link Esports Yellow. Stunning job there, mate. Anyone you want to give a shout out to before we let you go?
Obviously yourselves for putting up this league and doing the broadcast, and I better get the right team name here. Performance Link Esports.
Yes.
I better not get it mixed up.
Well done, Scott. We look forward to having a chat with you as the season goes on, buddy.
Right, cheers.
Bye.
Bye-bye.
Right, now we are going to have a chat with the man that declared his life choices at the beginning of the race. He didn't go out and qualify, but he did gain 19 positions to get him into the 8th place spot on the grid for the reverse. He then decided that he was going to love the Honda and move his way up 7 places and win the race by 23 seconds. That can only be one man, Mr. Callum Reed Garton, who has joined us. Callum, welcome in, sir. How are you?
I'm not bad, thank you, boys. How are you?
I've got to be honest, Callum, I'm very well, thank you very much, but I've just seen you either produce the biggest sandbagging bunch of swish-wash, should we say, keeping it PG, ever for somebody who declared they didn't like the car.
Yeah, I'm not a fan. I must admit, like the Honda, it just doesn't work for me. But around here, it's a track-specific car. It's not going to be great everywhere else. I'm 100% sure I'm going to struggle at some circuits. At this circuit, it just kind of worked, but even still, against the Velosters, like it was a fairly even match. So, but it's one of those, each to their own. Each car has their own strength. Veloster's a bit more of a all-rounder, where the Honda just has its biggest advantage is its brakes. from what I've noticed so far. So it's definitely a completely different driving style as to the Elantra, that's for sure.
Okay, question. Are you staying in the Honda? It's a tricky calendar. That's the problem, Callum, isn't it? You know the Elantra. You know where it's good. You know what you can do with it. You know how you can deal with it. Honda, you don't know that. You've got a tricky calendar ahead. There's tracks that these cars probably have never been to that we've whacked on this calendar. So the decision for you is swap cars, take a quali ban, or stay in the car that you've just won a race by 23 seconds in.
Yeah. I mean, I could do the worst thing possible and drive the Audi. And but yeah, that's a
Steady.
I don't know why people aren't using the Audi, because it's the quickest car on the fixed setup. I don't know why people are not using it. Like, it absolutely miffs me. But yeah, each their own. But no, I don't know. We'll see. I think I might just stay in the Honda just to get the experience under my belt, maybe, possibly.
Well,
we'll see.
Look, to be fair, you didn't take a quali lap, or you did, but it was very slow. You did look like my grandma at one point driving around the racetrack. I'm not gonna lie.
Yeah, I was trying to experience. I was trying to like play around with how the tires fire up on this, and if you drive it slow, they don't.
Right.
It's a bit different to the Elantra. Like, you can actually you can do more laps, and they'll build tire temperature in general, whereas the Honda, not so much. You just need to drive it quick, and it will just come to you naturally. It's really different. And then I tried to put some laps together towards the end, but I didn't have enough. I was literally on a flying lap at the end, and then the timer ended. So, but yeah, oh well, it is what it is.
Well, it is, but look how it's turned out at the end of the day. Maybe you might not be in a position you're in right now, because there was a little bit of carnage going on there as well throughout the races. It was a great Tory car battle. Now, I'm going to ask you a question. I can guarantee what my answer is going to be here. What circuit are you looking forward to the most, and have you actually read the calendar, Mr. CRG?
Yeah, I've had a brief look at it. I know Daytona's on it. I want to say Watkins Glen's probably going to be my favourite out of the lot. Although I do like Mosport as well, which is round 2, I believe.
3.
Round 3, sorry.
You go to Laguna next week, mate.
Oh, Laguna Seca, isn't it? Yeah. Yeah, Mosport. I do like Mosport. Mosport's quite good. VIR, I can't stand the place. There we go. Thank you. Lime Rock Park. That'll be fun. Road Atlanta. That's a decent track too. Yeah. It's a good calendar.
Thanks, mate.
But if I was to put money on the Honda, I'd probably say best tracks will be maybe Laguna Seca. It's going to be a bit 50-50. Mosport, it'll be quite strong. Maybe Watkins Glen, it will struggle, I think. And Cota as well. Maybe Barber Motorsports Park, it might be okay there, because it's a low speed, heavy braking zone. So we'll see.
Hey, mate. Well, listen, great job overall for you, Callum. Anyone you want to shout out before I let you go?
Thank you, mate. Yes. Obviously, you guys setting up the league. Brilliant commentary and broadcast as always. Shout out to my team as well. Save out.
Look forward to seeing you with your nice pro decals on for next week, Mr. Reed Garton.
You shall, mate. You shall. I'll try sort it.
Thank you, dear sir. Take care, buddy. We'll catch up with you soon.
You too, guys. Take care. Bye-bye.
Bye. Well, there you go, Zach. I think you can safely say we've heard from 3 drivers that are very happy with the way their evenings have gone. Carl Jacqueline, to be honest, he always seems happy. There isn't one thing that I've ever heard Carl not be happy about. He's in the Clios, and now he's in this, and he's loving everything. CRG, sandbagging a little bit. I don't know with CRG. I can't work out, Zach, whether or not he's being serious or not.
Yeah, well, watch him win VIR by about 30 seconds because he doesn't like it.
Yeah.
That will be the case. But yeah, here at Sonoma has been a really good, as I say, really good introduction to the championship. In a week's time, we'll go to Laguna Seca, which is a very similar track in many aspects to Sonoma. Again, in the middle of a desert. A lot of undulation, a lot of tight and twisty corners, some tricky sausage curbs. So yeah, plenty of action. I'm sure we're going to be happening over the course of Laguna Seca. But yeah, looking forward to it, and well, makes me more hyped for the rest of the season.
Yeah, absolutely. Well, great job from everyone as well. That's going to round out tonight's broadcast. Thank you so much to everybody that's joined us. Richard Sinnar, of course, Phil as well. Adam Dalmore popped in earlier. Sorry, Adam, I didn't see your message. My very good friend, Mr. Armand Brusso from the BSC across the pond. Rio, as always, as well. Thank you so much for joining us, and you early ones of Kraken Racing. And gone to get some milk gaming. So much appreciated for you. Right, guys, look forward to catching you all next week as we do head to Laguna Seca. More racing coming up on the JPB YouTube channel over the weekend. VWSC tomorrow as well. So catch up with that as we go to Donington. So stay tuned for the VWSC in R Factor 2 as we head to Donington. That's with myself and Jake Sanson for their 98 series. And then 2 F3s on Sunday. So thank you so much for that. But for now, guys, from myself up here in the booth, I've been James Parfitt alongside Zach Sweeney. Take care. Have a great week. And you never know, we might see you on the track sometime. Good night.